This is coming to you from John Wayne's 26 Bar Ranch in Eager, Arizona.
Howdy, partners. Welcome to another edition of Chili Bill's Kitchen. Well, today, as you can see, we're going to be doing a dish that we use chilies. These are the green Anaheim chilies. They're a fairly mild chili, and we've got a guest today that's going to try to show us how to use these Anaheims. And we're going to be using, we're going to be using all the standard things that we normally do. Here are spices. We're going to use a little old bust head today, though. So we're not going to use much, but we're going to be using a little bit of it. And, of course, all of the different types of chilies and so forth. And we're going to have to come back here in just a second. We've got to take a break right now. We'll be back in just about a minute. And we'll get to cooking these chilies. Don't go away.
But first, how about a great song by a stuntman and singer, KANNADA?
Blue, gray, misty mountains, silhouettes the Arizona sky. I've been gone so long, and still you know I find those blue-gray
back, we have a guest. You know who this is here? This is Mrs. Chili. This is my wife, Martha, and we drug her in here because she's got a dish that that she uses to serve all of her family down in the Phoenix area. Of course, she's from 13 brothers and sisters, so you can imagine that this is, once you set up for it, it's easy to serve all of them, and they like it. This is truly from the Southwest. And what are we cooking today, Martha?
Okay, this is really a very versatile dish. I call it loco chili.
Loco chili.
In that, it has a couple of ingredients that might be considered a little out of the ordinary.
Loco.
Yes, loco.
Okay.
One, we do use chorizo, which is a Mexican sausage, and we kind of jazz it up just a bit with a little tequila.
Tequila, okay.
So before we get started, I think perhaps it might be a nice idea to show the people how to make chorizo.
Okay.
The ordinary chorizo that the Mexicans use is made with pork. Pork is a little heavy and a little greasy. So
A lot greasy.
I like to use beef.
Okay.
So we'll get started with
Chorizo. Let's make up some chorizo. You get over there and get the meat. Now, this meat that she has today is fairly lean because, like she said, you know, the real chorizo you get from Mexico, they use quite a bit of fat in it. We're just using 2 pounds. Is 2 pounds, isn't it?
2 pounds of ground beef. Now, it can be a good grade, or it can be a little, you know, just ground
Inexpensive.
beef. It doesn't have to be ground brown, ground chuck,
Okay.
or anything.
So this you don't have to have that real expensive ground meat for
So
this.
we're going to put 2 pounds of ground beef.
Okay. Now
in
what
our
goes
bowl.
next?
Then we're going to add 2 tablespoons.
There, I think your measuring spoons are right
I
over
got
there.
'em.
You got that off?
Nope.
What'd you do? Did we?
You know, I
There we
flunked
go.
lids.
You flunk lids?
Flunk lids.
All right.
2 tablespoons of vinegar.
All right. Let's get it over here so they can see it right in
Okay.
here. There we go.
2 tablespoons of vinegar.
And then what do we put in
Okay,
that? Now the vinegar, you know, tell them a little bit about the vinegar, or I'll tell them. It's the vinegar is kind of a preservative. See,
That is
it
correct.
helps to preserve the meat.
I was going to get to that in just a moment.
Okay.
We're going to put
See that?
2 tablespoons of old
Tequila.
bust head,
Okay.
as I think you said.
And you know, you don't have to use the real
You don't
good.
have to use tequila if you don't want to.
You
It will
don't?
not deter the flavor of your meat.
All right. Now let's get this stuff out of the way over
Okay.
here. Now what goes in next?
Now we're going to use a 1/2 cup of Jack Creek chili mix.
Uh-oh, she's giving me a cheap plug here.
Now, if you do not have any of this Jack Creek chili mix, you may substitute 3 tablespoons of chili powder,
All right.
1 teaspoon comino,
All right.
1/2 teaspoon oregano,
All right.
1/2 teaspoon garlic salt, and pepper to taste.
All right. We're going to go ahead and use the prepared stuff today. Let's put it right up over here. There you go. You got enough there?
Yep, just enough.
Just enough. Okay, that's good. Now what?
Now we're going to put that in there. We're going to mix it up real good.
Now, is that all we have? We've got everything in now?
Everything's in here now.
All right. We're going to
Okay.
mix this all
We're
up.
going to mix this
Now
up.
what are we going to do with it?
And we're going to refrigerate it for 3 days. Now, what I'm going to use today, I cheated a little. I did prepare it ahead of time so it would be well aged.
She's learning. She cheats at it
Okay.
too.
So we're going to mix this up well, and we're going to put it in the refrigerator and let it set for 3 days. After this time, it can be frozen. It should be frozen if it is not used.
It shouldn't be left in the refrigerator for too long a time.
Now, an important thing also to remember would be
Let me
to
mix that for you.
see how he is. You ought to see when I get to knives what he does. An important thing to remember is the fresher your meat, you can assure yourself that your chorizo will age well in your refrigerator for 3 days.
What do we got going next here, Martha Lou?
Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take these lovely Anaheim chilies and we're going to split them down the center of each one of them.
Now, are you going to handle the knife?
I'll let you do that.
I'm going
Okay.
to do that. All right. You want to do it on the inside of the chili, right?
Right.
And we
And
just split them down like that? It's good
Yeah,
enough?
Right, don't go all the way through.
Okay.
And the important thing on this too is if you can get nice flat chilies, the flatter the chilies, the better they are to handle.
And, you know, tell them a little bit about handling chilies, and you want to be a little careful what you do from then on.
If you use a real strong chili, you might want to use rubber gloves, and be very careful that you don't rub your eyes or put them in your mouth right after, because you could
light up.
be a little uncomfortable.
Okay, now, what are you doing? You're just taking out the veins and
Just
the...
the vein and the seeds in these.
veins and the seeds. All right. So,
Now, while we do this, I'm going
What's next?
to
what?
get half a pound
Okay, I'll do
of
that.
chorizo.
We'll just keep this here for a second because that pan's a little bit hot. And what we have here is about a half a pound of chorizo. Okay, where are we going to put it?
We're going to put it in that skillet there, I think.
In this skillet here. I think we're hot enough. Yeah, it looks like we're hot enough here. Just break it up, put it in there. We going to need any oil in here? That stuff looks pretty... Where's our mixing spoon? You bring any mixing spoons?
I did.
Where are they at?
I don't know.
Where's my mixing spoons?
Oh, it's in with the chorizo.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Here we go. We'll use that one for the time being. And all we're doing here is we're just going to brown this, right?
Right.
All right.
Since that is very lean,
Yeah,
I put
let's
just a little oil in
better
it.
put just a little in there. There we go. All right.
Okay, now we're going to chop up 1 cup of fresh mushrooms.
Fresh mushrooms. You want me to chop them or you chopping?
No, I think I can do that.
All right. You need your glasses?
No.
Keep your fingers out from underneath that thing. What are you going to do? Take the stems
I
off
take
first?
the stems out first.
All right. Let me do those. You start chopping. Let me get the stems out. And you can chop those up.
It's no wonder that I don't cook much before.
Yes, she does cook. She cooks an awful lot. Okay, here
See
now.
how well I'm doing this? See? No fingers.
Please, keep them out of there. All right, now how many do we have here?
Well, I don't know. We're going to have enough for a cupful.
About a cupful, to
This
say.
really
So,
does sound a little strange, putting mushrooms in chorizo. But the versatility of this dish enables you to use it for any meal that you might want to serve it. It would make a nice main dish, as we're going to use today, or as an accompanying dish with turkey. It would be lovely to serve with brunch, maybe a poached egg on a English muffin.
well, just use it for a lot of different things.
For anything.
What, let's see now. We got to chop these up. What else do we have to do to this?
Okay, we're going to use a half a cup of breadcrumbs.
All right, you go get those.
I
Let me
have
finish
them
this up. You do?
Already.
All right, let's finish these up here real quick.
Okay.
And let's get these chopped up real quick. Okay. Now, do you want the stems too or
No,
not?
I use the stem for something different. Let's
Okay.
put that in just like that, okay?
And you want the rest of these in?
Yes, please.
Okay. Rest of these go in.
And stir that up good.
We're going to have to move. We're going to be running out of time here. Now, you need the breadcrumbs.
Okay, we're going to put the breadcrumbs in next.
And we just stir this in and just let it cook.
Stir it
Is
in,
that all
let
we
it
do
cook. Yep.
right now? Okay. This is one that I don't do. Martha does this one all the time when she's serving a lot of people. Then after we do this, what is next?
Okay, stir it up until it's well absorbed.
All right. We've got it pretty well.
And the chorizo is well done.
Well, the chorizo's done now, but this is
Okay.
going to take just a little bit for this to absorb, I think, into the... Well, it looks pretty good. I think this looks all right. Now, what's next to it?
Okay. Then we're going to add 1 cup of Jack cheese.
Plain old Monterey Jack, huh?
Plain old Monterey Jack cheese.
Okay. And that, we put that in now
Put
then?
it right in. Take it
All
off.
right.
Take it off the heat.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do that so we don't scorch it good.
Okay.
And all we do is just
Take
put
it
in the
off.
Monterey Jack
Right.
and
Okay, now
stir it
we're
up, huh?
We're going to stir it up.
Okay. All right, then what comes after this now?
Okay, after this, we're going to stuff our chilies.
All right, we're going to stuff the chili. Do we have to wait till that melts, or what do we have to do?
Yes, we like it to melt.
All right, let me get this melted here. You get the chilies ready. We're going to have to take a break here in just a few
Okay.
minutes. So let's get this rolling here, and we'll do one before we go, okay?
Okay.
Now, you have that one cleaned out. What do you need?
I'm going to get a spoon.
You're going to get a spoon. All right, she's going to get a spoon there. This cheese isn't quite melted in there
It will be
yet.
all right. Ordinarily, I think I'll use this one. I think.
Okay, all right. You go ahead and do that. We're going to have to take a break.
Okay.
Go keep the sponsors happy.
Okay.
And we'll be back in about a minute. Don't go away. Looks good.
caramba, somebody stole my caballo. Don't I know you from some places?
That's Chili Bill Brooks. We're doing a man-on-the-street interview, and we'd like your opinion of this.
Smells like chili.
That is chili. That's authentic Jack Creek chili.
Where can I get some of this good chili?
You'll find authentic Jack Creek chili at the Golden Carriage Pancake House in San Simeon, at Appliance and Sound in Paso Robles, and at any fine general store, emporium, or trading post. And if they don't have it, ask for it.
See?
Well, we're back. Martha's stuffing this first one here. We didn't get quite enough in it on the last segment, but we've got quite a bit to do here. You're going to stuff all three of these here. Now, and would you serve one of these to each person?
Yes, one would be sufficient for each person.
Unless they were a big eater.
Well, providing you had something to accompany it. But if you're going to have something light, as we're going to have today, I'm going to serve this with just a nice plate of fresh fruit and some warm flour tortillas. So,
Oh boy, good old flour tortillas today, huh?
now if you were going to be serving this as a side dish with turkey or with breakfast, one would still be sufficient.
This would be breakfast?
Well, you could serve it for breakfast with a nice poached egg on an English muffin and some of the cheese sauce that we're going to use to top these with.
Where would you say that this probably came from? Would this be border Mexican food or deeper down into Mexico or what?
I think probably a little deeper down in Mexico.
Yeah, I think so
This
too,
is
because
this is not your ordinary run-of-the-mill border preparation, I think. I also think that this would be something that you would find in a little bit more posh facility.
yeah, right. This
I don't
wouldn't
think
be
you'd
your
find
everyday thing.
Your little mamacita making this for her family for breakfast. Now this is a tedious little job,
All
and
right.
you really have to kind of be careful and get a little messy while you're doing it.
Well, you always
And,
get messy on Chili Bill's Kitchen.
So, well, I try not to be, but anyway, you just kind of work the chili open a little bit and,
All
and
right.
stuff it.
Okay, you got that one now, and we got one more to go
One more
here.
to do. Okay. This is a better one. This is a big
Oh
one.
yeah, that's a big one there. You'll be able to
Okay.
get a lot. I think I'll take that one.
I'm going to give this to you. To Doug.
Oh, you're going to give it to the director, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Now this mix actually should be allowed to sit for about 10 minutes before you,
It firms up then.
yes it does. And you also want to make sure that you don't have a lot of the juice
Yeah.
in it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we didn't drain this. We probably
No.
should have drained that,
yes, I
shouldn't we?
usually do drain it.
And
That
so,
one got away from me.
oh, and so what? Then just drain off the excess fat and
Just
so
drain
forth.
off the excess juice that's in the bottom of the pan.
All right. Now, do we have these
Yeah.
all stuffed now?
Yeah,
Ready to
we're gonna
go?
Stuff them, and we're going to put them in a baking dish.
All right. Where's our baking dish?
Well, I'm going to get it in just a moment.
All right.
Okay, take that away.
Take that away there. Let's see. Is this the one over here?
Yeah.
That one there.
Okay.
Okay.
Now we're going to place these in an ungreased baking dish.
Ungreased.
Ungreased baking
Ah.
dish. And we're going to put them in a preheated oven of 350 degrees. And they should be allowed to bake for 45 minutes
45.
should be sufficient.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm going to take these away.
You don't need these? Aren't we not going to put the sauce on them yet then?
No, we're not going to put any sauce on them until we serve them.
I see.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what is next here that we've got going?
Okay, I thought for the audience that maybe I'd like to go over the recipe for this chorizo again, because it's a very simple preparation and you can use it in a variety of dishes. Not just for this, it's very nice, scrambled with eggs
Oh,
for
yeah.
breakfast.
Scrambled eggs and chorizo.
There are many, many dishes that call for fresh chorizo. You can use it in your chili, in your meatloaf to kind of spice it up just a little bit. So I think I'm going to go over the recipe
All right, why don't you
again.
give it to him again there?
Okay. This is 2 pounds of ground beef. We use 3 tablespoons of your favorite chili mix if you don't have a prepared mix. 1 teaspoon comino. 1/2 teaspoon oregano. A 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. You use pepper to taste.
Just plain black pepper?
Plain black pepper.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of cider vinegar, and if you like, you can also put in a couple of shots of old bust head or tequila or,
good,
or whatever.
tequila.
It does not have to be, top of
Okay.
the line brand. If it's a little dry, you can add a few drops of water or a little water until it is workable. Then
Yeah, because it does kind of set up in
It
there.
does
When you
set.
add the spices,
Right.
it takes all of the moisture.
and then refrigerate it in a closed container for 3 days. At that time, if you're going to use it in a dish, you may do so, and if you have any left over, put it in the freezer.
Okay.
It stores very well.
Or some people even put it into gut, and they
Well,
put it into the link.
They can make it if they have a sausage stuffer. You can use your
All right.
sausage stuffer.
We'll put that over there. Now, don't we have something else here? What do we have back
Okay.
in the refrigerator? Okay. Now, what is this?
All right. Today, to accompany our stuffed chilies, I have made a cheese sauce using 1 cup of Longhorn cheese and 1/4 of a cup of half and half. Now, I microwaved this for 3 minutes.
Did you do it all in one
No.
cycle?
I did it a minute and a half, and then I took it, stirred it, and did it for another minute and a half, and then I added just a dash of oregano, a teaspoon of tequila, and a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. This is just for a little flavor. If you have any extra chopped green chilies that you'd like to put in it, that also adds to the flavor. And we're going to use
This is just to put over the end.
just as
Okay.
a topping for our chili.
All right, now let's see. Why don't we put that aside right here? Okay. And we have one other thing I think
Okay.
we're going to show them in the refrigerator there, if I remember right. You get that, and I'm going to have to get this spoon back here. There we go. Now we've got the spoon for our sauce, our cheese sauce. And we're making up a...
Okay, today to accompany this, I have made up a fresh fruit platter because fresh fruit's very nice this time of the year. I have used fruits that would be available in Mexico that you might find down there. I have used the red and the green seedless grapes. These are called pearline grapes, and they do come from south of the border. We have cantaloupe, and we have very nice strawberries.
Yeah, that's very pretty. You
So
know,
this is just nice as an accompaniment to our meal.
Yeah.
And then to finish off our meal, I'm going to warm flour tortillas,
Okay.
and
We
we'll
better get the flour. Why don't you put those right over there, and let's get the flour tortillas. How are we going to do the flour tortillas? We're going to probably use them in the microwave, I would imagine. That's how we normally do it here on Chili Bill's Kitchen. Now,
Yeah.
what do we have here? About 12-inch...
these are 12-inch flour tortillas.
Okay, let's just get
okay?
rid of that.
There are many different ways of warming these. Some people will put them on a hot griddle
Oh, yeah.
and turn them. But today we're just going to put them in a napkin.
Okay.
And put
Do we have a
them in
napkin down
the
here somewhere?
microwave. Oh, yes,
I
indeed.
get a napkin there. Just go ahead and wrap them up, and we'll have to get those going in the microwave. And we're going to have to start putting this together real quick.
And if you're going to leave these set for any length of time, you might even want to dampen your napkin just a bit.
Okay.
It will save your tortillas from drying out.
All right, why don't you put those in the microwave real quick? And we'll move our chilies back over here. And how long are you putting those in over there?
I'm putting them in for a minute and a half.
A minute and a half. All right. So then what we need to do now to finish off this dish, we've got everything ready to go. We're going to we've got the tortillas going. We're going to need our sauce. And why don't you just bring the sauce right on over here. There you go. And we're going to need our sauce, and she's going to go ahead and put the sauce on there. Go ahead and put the sauce right across them.
All
Oh
right.
boy, that looks pretty, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, it's lovely.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Is that all you need? Is just that amount there?
That'll be enough. Then we're going to put just a little tiny dash of cayenne pepper. If you don't have cayenne and you want a little color, you can also use paprika.
Paprika, yeah. That, if you don't want it to be too hot. Of course, in our house, we don't mind using the cayenne pepper.
Okay.
And we like to use the jalapeno pepper also. All right, here's what we have set up here. Let's get our dishes over here. We've got of course, our chorizo that we've made up before we started. Here's our dishes here. We're going to take a break for the sponsor. We'll be right back. Don't go away. We're going to eat some of this great food. All right, now you're going to serve me
I'm
now?
going to serve
All
you.
right, here, let me get this over to you.
Put it right over here.
Okay,
See if we can get these out of the pan.
yeah. Now what do we've got our beautiful fruit plate here, and with all those good Mexican-type fruits. And are you going to get that cheese cut? Yeah, you're
I'm
going to
gonna
get
do
that
it.
cheese cut. Now you better get one for yourself there, and then I'll take a little bit of extra of the cheese sauce. Let me have a little bit of that cheese sauce. We have the
Nice warm flour tortillas.
we got the flour tortillas. Oops, ooh, I'm put that more of the cheese on there.
It's
Look.
going to be hot enough for you. There's a little warmer up there.
We've got old lumbre verde here, you know, that I'll put on mine. And we've got the flour tortillas here. I'm going to grab a flour tortilla real quick.
You better have a bite of that.
I'm
See
going
if you
to.
like
Martha
it.
Lou, do you have yours over there? All right.
Oh, yes,
That's
I
good.
do.
I'm going to take a bite of this real quick here. And a little bit of that flour tortilla is coming apart on me. Yep. Good as you made the last time.
You think that's tasty enough to suit
Pretty
you?
tasty, good stuff.
Okay.
We're going to have to leave you. And we've got a beautiful table today. We'll see you next time. Adios.
Thank you.